what we do inside of an embodiment practice, what we actually do is we switch our attention from the habitual behaviors and activities and to-dos and tasks, and just for 30 seconds, 90 seconds, a minute, which is enough, we switch our attention to physical sensation as a way to balance and ground and stabilize ourselves. We are not trying to stop our thoughts. We are not trying to fix our thoughts. We are simply adding another component for a measure of grounding and stabilizing, and that is somatic awareness, focusing on physical sensation. So, for example, can you drop your shoulders right now? Like literally, can you drop your shoulders right now? Do you notice that you can drop your shoulders right now? Do you notice that you can soften your jaw right now? Do you notice that you can take a breath right now? Do you notice that you can relax the muscles in your face and just kind of let your facial expression melt away? Just uncrinkle. If there's a grimace, just let it go. Notice the corners of your eyes. Can you relax? Notice the corners of your mouth. Can you relax? Can you relax your body? Anywhere. Your body. Your body. Your unique body. In this moment, right now. Right now. Can you relax any part of your body right now? Can you notice where you're squeezing, clenching, bracing? And can you just let go for a couple seconds? Doesn't have to be 90 seconds. Frankly, it doesn't have to be 30 or 10. It's just a moment of unbracing, letting go. I can feel it in my face. Letting go. So we switch our attention from doing to sensing and noticing just for a bit. And we return to that practice. And then over time, it deepens our capacity for all the things that are coming at us in life. There's a balancing act between somatic awareness, meaning noticing my shoulders, noticing my jaw, noticing my throat, noticing my ankles, wiggling my toes, noticing physical sensation, and being willing to notice that. That's somatic awareness. That's what I refer to as my embodiment practice, is just noticing the physicality of a moment. So there's a difference between that and, I'm stretching my legs a little. There's a difference between that and the stories I'm telling. I will say this, as a woman, I have been regularly and heavily conditioned by society at large and, dynamics in general to shrink, apologize, seek approval, etc. And even in the recognition of that, I'm still criticizing myself. Isn't that crazy? And still being hard on myself. So it's really a new practice to experience a kind of freedom that I'm allowing, that I'm permitting, that I'm creating. Freedom from my own chatter, my own arbitrary obligations. Allowing the freedom to start with me. There's a marriage between the internal and external things. The internal things are things like my thoughts, my sensations, and the experiences I'm having. The things that seem external to me are things like other people's language, other people's facial expressions, other people's reactions, the weather, what a particular space feels like that I've walked into. Those things seem external to me. But as I say this, of course, I'm thinking, well, it's also being filtered through my sense-making mechanism, my brain, my eyes, my senses, my nose, all the senses. I'm filtering the world around me, the outside world. I'm filtering it all through a kind of Bridget lens, just as you are filtering your perceptions and your experiences through a you lens. So can the external and the internal ever fully be separated? Maybe not. Interesting, huh? I'm going to give myself a little support here. Right. What I love so much about my embodiment practice is I can just drop all the chatter at a moment's notice. I can just drop all the chatter in a moment's notice, and I can just feel. I can just breathe. I can just drop my shoulders. I can come back to my body. What my teacher, Luis Mojica, used to call the animal body. This is just the flesh, the blood, the flesh, the bones, the nervous system, the muscles, the skin, all of it. The hair. This is the body. And I can come back to this, and in this realm, in the realm of real-time physical sensation, I'm not telling stories. I'm not weaving narratives. I'm not projecting back into the past or forward into the future. I'm not engaged with dread or worry. I am not engaged with regret or doubt. I am in here in this moment, in right now, real time, present moment-ness. And in that space, I get resourcing. I get relief. I become grounded. I become more present. And I become more free. In my mind, when I think about freedom, I get twisted up in knots. Is it freedom? Is it not freedom? Is there any such thing as freedom actually? And can we escape the things we think are holding us back from freedom? And it's this whole mental conundrum. But when I'm in my body, when my attention is on physical sensation, when I wiggle my toes, when I drop my shoulders, there is freedom. There is expansion. In that moment, in the present moment. So I invite you to drop your shoulders in this moment. I invite you to drop your shoulders, to relax the muscles in your face, to soften your jaw. To uncrinkle, to breathe, to wiggle your toes, and to just let go. Just let go. Just let go. This is a version of freedom, expansion, choice, and agency. The physical letting go in this moment yields all of that, yields agency, reminds us we have choices, yields an experience of intentionality, yields an experience of freedom, of presence, of being, and of becoming. Isn't that wonderful? Lots of words that are really unnecessary. I'm just digging for the words because of this medium, because we're connecting via the video. But when you take your own time with your own practice, there's no need for words. When you just stop in the middle of your morning or afternoon or evening for 60 seconds and just choose to feel, just choose to drop your shoulders, just choose to soften your jaw, choose to relax the muscles in your face or wiggle your toes, you'll find you don't need words. Words are completely unnecessary when you're with you, when you're with you, when you're with yourself. Doesn't matter where you get the prompts from. It can be from this video. It can be from my podcast, Thriving in Plain Sight. It can be from your own brain. You can just tell yourself, self, I would say to myself, Bridge, drop your shoulders. You can say to yourself, self, relax the muscles in your face. Just relax the muscles in your face. Drop your shoulders. Notice where you're bracing, squeezing, clenching, holding on, and intentionally let go. Unbrace the jaw, the corners of the eyes and mouth, the throat, the shoulders, the hands, the feet. Wiggle your toes if you can. Let your belly poke out. Relax your belly if you're not constricted by your clothing. And just notice your body right now and notice where you can let go a little. What a beautiful practice. So that's it for today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking in. Check the notes under this video for links to all of my things. My coaching practice is a place where we integrate somatic awareness, sense making, meaning how we're making sense of things, and action, embodied action. There's always something to do if we can find our way to it. I offer a 90-minute coaching pod where we will customize an approach to your pivot, your beginning, your ending, your ability to cope and change. And the last thing I'll say is I really want to support people who have discovered that they're operating inside of a hostile environment. I don't want to conjure hostility where there is none. We can do that through our imagination. I don't want to do that. However, many of us are operating inside of contexts, environments, and systems that feel hostile. And in those settings, there are specific tools we can use to melt the dread, melt the resistance, the reluctance, and the panic. We've been talking about some of those things here on this channel. Wouldn't it be fun to apply specifically some of these tools and approaches to your particular circumstances? I'll just tell one other story, even though I was just signing off. I had a job a while back, and I was struggling for any number of reasons, culture and my own way of looking at things. It was difficult to be in the environment where certain interpersonal dynamics were taking place. My capacity for all of it was extremely shallow. I didn't have any of my practices at the time. Zero. I had willingness and I had some practices, like I had been doing Qigong for many years at that point. I had a bunch of technical things I could do, EFT, emotional freedom technique, or tapping, EFT tapping. I had a bunch of things, but I didn't have the overall framework of somatic awareness to rest in and to stand in. Didn't have that yet. However, there was something in my brain that kept saying, this should be doable. This should be easier. Like, I kept feeling like, I know this has to be a slip knot. I should be able to just pull this thing. It looks like a knot, but if I could just pull the two strings on the side, the knot should disappear. Meaning, this job shouldn't make me so miserable. The people here are not terrible people. Why am I having such a hard time? And of course, I had yet to understand the invisible architecture that was creating that experience. I'm grateful that I have that language and that perspective now, because it's allowing me to enter many difficult situations with a lot more capacity and willingness and openness. And that's incredible and amazing and good. So I bring that detail into my coaching spaces with others. Because there's a piece of things that there's always a little piece we have control over. But then there's a part we kind of don't, and then we're kind of fixated on that part. It's okay. We can find our way back to the part that we have control over gently, little by little, and just dive deeply into that. And then see what we can morph and change and move around. So that's what the coaching is about. So coaching, books, and podcast, those are the things I have for you. And thank you for being with me for a few moments. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.